State Governor Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola has pledged his administration that his administration will continue to uphold its electioneering campaign promises for the people of the state even until his last day in office. Governor Oyetola made the pledge while commissioning parts of the rural project executed by Osun State Community and Social Development Agency (CSDA) in collaboration with the World Bank and the state government. He said the event marked another milestone in the pursuit of his administration to build a vibrant state where social infrastructures are within the reach of every citizen. Parts of the projects that have so far been commissioned are 2 modern classrooms at Elemo, 3 modern classrooms at Ile-Epo Bodiosi, and pump borehole at Idiaraba, 2 classrooms at Oguro, and a motorized borehole at Ajagba, among others. Ministries, departments, and agencies of government in the state have been mandated to always go through the State Public Procurement Agency (PPA) in any procurement process as a matter of law. The call was made by the Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development, Professor Olalekan Yunusa, while addressing agencies of government who turned up for the bilateral meeting in preparation for the 2023 budget estimate of the state. The Commissioner stressed further that all policy actors in the state must ensure that they do things right at all times so that the state officers and government can be free from financial crime litigations. He said it also ensure the institutionalization of the transparent and accountable style of governance which Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has entrenched since day one in office. Corroborating the Commissioner, the General Manager, Osun Public Procurement Agency, Mr. Bello Adegboyega, urged agencies of government to ensure absolute compliance to the e-procurement procedures being put in place for a smooth process. As the October 2022 local government elections fixed by the State Independent Electoral Commission (HOSEC) draws closer, the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists (NIWAJ) Osun chapter have called on the political parties in the state to ensure that women in politics as well as persons with disability (PWDs) from their respective political parties are part of the local government elections candidates. In a release by the chairperson Mrs. Motunayo Yegbayo and the secretary Comrade Abisola Ariwodola, the 35% affirmative of women in politics as well as inclusion of persons with disability in politics must be considered. According to the release, political parties must be fair in the choice of their candidates, considering that the fact that the gender and persons with disability has a right to participate in politics, to vote, and as well to be voted for. The Female Journalist Association in the state uses the release to call on the State Electoral Commission to ensure a free, fair, and credible local government elections, while it urges members of the political parties and public to cast their votes for candidates of their choice and to ensure no violence before, during, and after the elections. A joint praise worship by ministers of God and Chief Imam of Ilaudu Oduoti North Local Government holds tomorrow. A program christened Let Every Tongue Praise God will hold at Emmanuel African Church, Ilaudu. A release by Pastor John and Senior Apostle Alabi indicates that the praise worship service will be attended by the care chairman, Ilaudu, Professor Simeon Hihai, the Asiwaju of Ilaudu, Chief Moses Babalola, Ken Chairman Ilaudu, Pastor Folaji, and the Chief Imam of Ilaudu, Alhaji Folorunsho. Others are Shehu of Ilaudu, Alhaji Abubakar Ayegbami. The royal father of the day is Onila of Ilaudu, Oba Pastor Benjamin Apiono, the chairman of Council of Ministers of God, Ilaudu, Prophet Abolane Ashepe. Meantime, the chief imam, Federal Polytechnic Elder Sheikh Musbauddin Urimadegun, has described death as an inevitable that all living soul, irrespective of race and religious affiliations, must experience. Sheikh Urimadegun stated this today at the 3 days without prayer for the former deputy rector of Osun State Polytechnic Ire, Dr. Wahid Ojeleke. In his message, the acting rector of Osun State Polytechnic Ire, Dr. Tajuddin Odetayo, who led the management team and staff of the institutions to the Fidal prayers, expressed emotion and described the passing of Dr. Oyeleke as sudden. Also speaking, the registrar of the institution, Barrister Busari Salawu, the Dean Faculty of Science, Dr. Adegboyega Oyeleke, and the representatives of the community where he lived, Alhaji Usamat Sarafuddin, described late former deputy rector as a dutiful, committed person to the service and development of humankind. The 60-year-old Edebon graduate of food science from the University of Ibadan joined the service of Osun State Polytechnic Ibre in 1993 as an assistant lecturer and rose to the status of chief lecturer in the Department of Food Science and Technology. The late deputy director held various posts during his active days in this institution, such as head of department, then Faculty of Science, director of academic planning, and was also elected as the deputy rector of the Polytechnic 2 times between 2015 and 19. Present at the prayer are members of the management, staff, and students of